Live from Los Angeles, welcome to Good Morning La La Land. I'm Dr. Aaron.
I'm Rob Mack.
And I'm Jez Moye. This is Good Morning La La Land, America's first live streaming daily talk show, coming to you live Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. Also available on Apple TV and Roku via the EverTalk app.
And it is hashtag Wealth Wednesday. We're going to talk about the power of goals. I know we don't always like to set goals around here, but we're going to talk about it. Yeah.
Love it. Stay Woke Wednesday.
Ooh,
right?
I love that.
Oh, I like
Woke
that.
Wednesday.
That's better than Wealth Wednesday. Let's give that.
I'm working on my tweetables.
No,
Those tweetables.
I think it was the Insta tweets that Cherabelle
Insta tweet. That was hilarious, actually.
That was. Well, I'm so excited to welcome our very special guest this morning. Hello, everyone, back in the studio.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I think they missed the memo. It's Stay Woke Wednesday.
It's all good.
You're a little calm back there, everyone. We're so excited to welcome you to the show, Diane. We know you are a renowned creative entrepreneur and a true Renaissance woman. How are you today?
Thank you. I'm doing great. I'm excited to be here.
And on Good Morning La La Land, we like to know about your morning routine. How do you start your day?
I have a lot of pets. 3 sulcata desert tortoises that are a couple 100 pounds each. So
Wow.
I visit them in the morning, then I feed my cats, then I feed my dogs, then I meditate and enjoy being in my home. I just love it.
Wow, tortoises. We have not heard that one before.
No.
That's incredible.
They're
awesome.
pretty amazing.
I'm giving up my boyfriends for some tortoises.
Are you? I don't know if they're easier to take care of or not. We'll have to ask her.
Frankie, Big D, and Bev.
Same names as my boyfriends.
Really? That'd be something.
Do these turtles live at your home, Diane?
Yeah, they do. I rescued one, and one my daughter gave me in a little box under the Christmas tree years ago. And we didn't know it was going to grow into this giant animal.
Wow.
But they're pretty wonderful, and it's great having something in the house that's really grounding, or outside the house. You know, they're amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
They're grounding, all right. They're probably a couple 100 pounds, right?
Well, she's got a Picasso and a tortoise. This is one of the most interesting women I think we've ever had on the show. Thanks for being with us today, Diane. We have got
Having me.
author, speaker, and mentor Dr. Wagner with us. He is the author of You Deserve It, and he knows the missing answer to the life you want.
Oh, who doesn't want that?
Wow.
Yes.
Save it for later in the show. First, we want to know, Dr. Wagner, how do you start your day? What's your morning routine?
So I start my day every single day with an hour of meditation. Then I move into a full page of just free writing to clear my mind and get ideas out there. And then I go into a 15-minute walk with listening to music that inspires me. And I would say the most important part of that whole routine is that I'm not logged in or my phone isn't open. I'm not checked into anything that connects me to the rest of the world.
Love that. So the hour-long meditation, what does that involve?
It changes. So I've done many different types of meditation. I've created my own meditative process, and it really is whatever I feel inspired to do that morning and whatever I feel I need.
Excellent. I love it. All right, an hour. It's fantastic.
That's quite the ritual. Well, we're so excited and honored to welcome a very iconic TV and film actor. Congratulations on your 7th Emmy nomination. Ed
Thank you so
Begley
much.
is with us. We are so excited about the 2nd season of Bless This Mess, ABC's hit series. We want to know, Ed, though, how does a solar-powered actor like you start his day? What's your morning routine?
Well, it depends if it's a work day or a non-work day. If it's a work day, I get up about 4:45 or so, 4:30. I have to be in Santa Clarita at 6:30 in the morning. And so that's a work day. I get up fairly early, have a cup of tea. I brought my visual aid here, my little tea thing. And then I do the crossword. Here's my other visual aid. I do the LA and New York Times crossword.
Wow, those
that
are
kind of
hard.
wakes up my brain. Go into work. If it's a non-work day, just I sleep into 6 or 6:30. That's a late morning sleep in for me, 6 or 6:30. Get up and do all the same, except I don't drive to Santa Clarita.
That's fantastic. Boy, certainly a veteran. He's got visual aids, and it's like show and tell.
Absolutely. That New York Times crossword,
Those
though.
are hard. Those are hard.
Today is Wednesday, so it's still pretty easy. By Friday and Saturday, it gets tougher, and but it keeps your brain alive, and I love it. And I go to the gym too. If it's not a work day, I always get to the gym. If it's a work day, I don't always make it, but I stay pretty active on the set even when I am working.
Wow.
Love it. Yeah. Endless energy. That's great.
Oh, wow. Well, thank you so much for being with us today, Ed.
Thank you for having
So
me.
excited to welcome Katie Sackhoff to the show. We are promoting her new Netflix series, Another Life. Good morning, Katie.
Hi, good morning.
We're so excited that you're here with us. How do you start your day? What's your morning routine?
So my morning is very similar to everyone else's. I usually start the morning with 3 dogs jumping on me. I have a deaf pug that's 13 years old now, and she starts to scream in the morning when she wants food. So that's fun. So I get up with them. I let them out. I usually get my coffee going, and then I meditate for about 20 minutes every morning. I walk them, feed them, and then sort of figure out what I need to do for the day. But my coffee, usually, I've got my visual aid here. It's usually about 4 cups, and I drink coffee until about noon, and then I sort of figure out what I'm going to do for the day. That's if I'm not working. If I am working, it's a very, very early start. All of those things that I mentioned just get moved forward to about 4:45 in the morning.
Oh,
That's
wow.
incredible. The meditation is completely necessary with that pug screaming at you. Like, I'm telling you, there's no way to get through the day if you don't meditate after that.
It's not, and right now I'm doing construction on my house, so it's been like 9 days of jackhammers, so that's how the whole neighborhood is starting their day. So,
Wow, yeah.
yeah.
Good old
Feel
LA.
bad.
Yeah.
Well, I can understand why she would need to escape that, go on a little interstellar travel
Yes.
and a mission. Thank you all so much for being with us. We look forward to continuing the conversation later in the show.
Oh my gosh.
So interesting. The tortoises, huh? That's incredible.
That's-
I've got a friend with tortoises.
You do?
I do. Yeah. It's no small feat to take care of those bad boys.
I don't have any, I've always loved pets. I love dogs. I had them my whole life, but I just don't anymore. I just, like, my son's grown. I'm like, I just can't take on more responsibility.
I know. It's enough to take care of yourself. I mean, that is a full-time job. I'm telling you, like, every day I'm like, how do I take care of myself? It's a lot.
It is a lot, right?
It is a lot. Well, I'm so excited to announce that I've been a part of a new campaign with Global Intuition and Vogue Italia for the upcoming Milan Fashion Week. So be sure to check out my Instagram later today. I'm super excited to share some of the
Oh,
photos.
That's so awesome, Jess. I
Yeah,
love
right?
that.
Thank you.
So what does that involve? What are we going to see on your Instagram?
Well, you're going to
Pictures?
see, yes,
Stories?
minimal luxury women's streetwear in a collab with Vogue Italia, and they're doing a really cool treasure hunt around the city of Milan for Milan Fashion Week.
Oh, super cool. Are you going to Milan?
Oh, well, TBD, I'm always open for
There you
opportunity.
go,
I
exactly.
keep my passport ready, so we'll
That's right.
see.
Set that
Yeah, you gotta do
intention.
that.
Set that goal.
Absolutely.
For sure. So we have, actually, next week I'm going to be off Thursday, Friday, and realize I'm off again because I have a fall retreat for Soul Society ambassadors. We have a 4-day retreat over at Kimpton Pier, and we go through, all the training of leadership and stuff. So I'm super excited about that.
I love that. Are there spots left for that, or?
There's 2 spots left. Yes.
Okay.
Thanks for.
That's what I'm here for. I set them up, you knock them down.
Yeah, which brings us to today's topic, which is Wealth Wednesday, which is the power of goals. And I know that we have mixed feelings on
We
this,
do,
right?
we do. But ultimately, we agree. But I think I've learned to become more flexible and fluid in the
Right.
ways in which I approach goals. But I love this
Right.
topic.
Well, I think it's fun. I feel like I was like Goldilocks. Like years back, I'd set goals and I was like really regimented on my goals, and then my goals just made me miserable
Yeah,
because I could never
totally.
totally hit my
Oh my
goals.
gosh, totally.
So it's just like one big just suffering thing around it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went to I'm not gonna have any goals, and then I'm like, oh, I'm gonna let the universe guide me, and then it's just like a lot of chaos,
Yeah.
a lot of going. And I was like, okay, well, let's set goals, but have it come from a place of why and purpose driven, and more like non-attachment, but still setting intentions.
We're cut from the same cloth, because that was my experience. I was like dedicated and committed to being a professional basketball player, and I was so goal oriented. I had exactly how many shots I'd take a day, which was 1,000, like how many Lycan drills I'd do, this
Right.
whole thing. And then when it didn't work out, I was like, forget it, no goals. I'm done with this goal thing. Sucks.
right.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole point of goals is to set a goal that doesn't seem readily attainable. But how do you not set yourself up for disappointment then?
Yeah, it's a great question. There's actually 3 levels of goals. One is kind of like linear, like I'm going to pay my bill again next month for my, rent or whatever it is. The next is cultural, like I should get that next degree or that next house or that next relationship. It's very programmed, which is not necessarily inspirational. It's why people have midlife crisis. The 3rd level of goals is where you are inspired. It's kind of like almost unattainable, but you still believe it's possible. So you don't want to get where there's too big, I'm going to be a billionaire.
Right.
Yeah, you barely show up.
Right.
It's not going to happen, and so it's going to be a big disappointment.
Yeah, if you have no belief of it around
Yeah.
it, you're not going to take action.
Right, totally. Uh-huh.
Yeah. That's really important. I love that you broke it down that way, because I would always think of it in terms of short-term goals, long-term goals, lifetime goals, and then micro goals. And I love the way you described it. I haven't heard it described that way.
Yeah. I mean, it's what's typical. So Brian Tracy's one of the greatest around goal setting for years and years. And basically, he did a lot of studies and found that only 3% of the population write down their goals, and only 1% actually revisits their goals. And Harvard found that the people that wrote down their goal had 10 times the wealth over 10 years. So, yeah.
I love that.
The writing down thing always freaked me out
Yeah.
because I was afraid I wasn't setting goals that were big enough to meet the universe's expectations or plans for myself. And so I didn't want to not do myself justice. And that, what if my goal was too small? And then all of a sudden I've committed to the universe something that is less than what was planned for me.
Right.
Yeah.
I freaked out about that. And what I also didn't realize is that goals can change. They can evolve. Just because you set one goal in 3 months, if you have to pivot that goal a little bit, that's okay. You don't have to be committed to the one goal for the rest of your life.
We do it every quarter. So we train the girls in Soul Society to be CEOs of their life, and every quarter they revisit their goals, and they do the goals in the 4 areas, their personal and professional life, and it becomes a North Star, but it's not like you tweak it. Sometimes you tweak it, and I used to tweak it a lot every quarter. Now it doesn't get tweaked very much because I'm clear on my goals, but it takes a while to know like what's your why and why do you want these different things in the different areas of your life.
Absolutely true. And I know for me, I struggled a long time because I was like, I don't know what goal to set. I don't know what the purpose of my life is. So I think if you're in that place, sometimes you can make discovering your purpose your purpose.
Totally.
Right? Also, you are always clear about how you want to feel. So that can be a goal where I want to feel, increasingly peaceful, happy, loving, abundant, and then you can kind of reverse engineer from there.
Totally.
But I think it can be overwhelming in the beginning, right?
Here's the other life lesson I've learned about goals, is that you may also achieve your goal, but not in the way you anticipate, right? So you have a destination in mind or the goal set, and you think, I am going to take this highway to get there. Well, let me tell you, I took the other highway, off-road, no map, and I still got there.
It's true. We call it outlining. If you try and figure out how, you can't. It's just you have to take it.
Which is so, it becomes confusing to people, right? Because they're like, okay, I'm going to set a goal, but I'm not going to describe or define the how.
Forget it. We don't like this whole thing. I say we just have fun today.
I know, that's how I am. I'm being honest. I'm committed to just peace today and let the universe deliver what it wants to deliver.
It's important to take actionable steps, but it's really interesting how the universe can redirect you. Even when you think you're doing one thing, you're really doing another.
For sure.
Totally.
Anyway, I think it's an interesting conversation, but I do believe we're here to experience our consciousness and form, and there's nothing neutral about the soul, so you might as well, whatever intention you have is, directing energy anyway, so you might as well be more intentional.
Yeah, you got to take this ride called life anyway, so you got to enjoy it, man. The ups and the downs.
Buckle your seatbelt.
That's right.
We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk to our amazing guest. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Where can you watch the stories of people changing the world? EverTalk TV, the Netflix of talk. I'm GMLA, the co-founder and host of EverTalk TV, and I am thrilled to introduce you to America's first live video streaming talk show network.
I'm so excited to be here on the couch with all you amazing people. I'm just in complete awe. Thank you.
Happy to be here. And for those who don't know what goes on, this is a big old, there's a lot going on here. You do this every day.
Live.
God bless you guys. I mean, people, there's a lot going on.
Thank you for having me. This is an awesome studio.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
I feel that, actually. I feel that.
How exciting Motivation Monday. And the guests this morning have been incredible.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here with you.
And we have Rachel Boston, who is in The Last Bridesmaid on Hallmark. It actually is dropping tomorrow, the 22nd, right?
It is. Tomorrow night's our premiere.
Woo!
Congratulations! I am so excited to welcome Jason and Ashley Waller to the show. Congratulations on the new beginnings. We're so excited for the premiere on MTV tonight.
Thank you guys. We appreciate it. Thank you.
The book is actually being shipped out today. It published this week.
Congratulations.
You guys are the first show that I've actually done talking about the book.
I think this is my first time my book's been up on TV. This is awesome.
Our friends at Universal Pictures have a special delivery for us this morning from a tethered himself. Have you seen the film Us by Academy Award winner Jordan Peele?
You know, I'm sitting here next to you guys, and it's just like, this is a powerful moment for me. Like, you know, I'm humbled by it because it's like I'm sharing this movie with you guys, and you know, it's moving for me.
What are you most grateful for today?
I am so grateful to be here and to have the opportunity to be with all these wonderful, badass boss babes and with all of you. And it's just a wonderful opportunity to share the positive messages out in the world, because I think the world really needs it right now.
What we've done and thanking me for the contribution we're making to their lives.
Oh,
and I
nice.
thought, this is what my purpose is. This is why I was born. Now,
Show the camera.
up to you to choose the winner. Is it Annie? Is it Haley?
That's why I like this show. You know, years ago I did the Dinah Show, which is Dinah Shore, and it was a daytime show. And it was kind of like this. And it was just like very up, and it was all positive stuff. They didn't bring negative stuff to the audience. And that's why I feel with this show, it's very relaxed. it's very professional, but it's quite a bit of fun.
You can binge watch and binge watch.
You can binge watch.
And you can binge watch, or you can binge watch. Please binge watch.
You can binge watch and binge them on EverTalk TV. Thanks for coming. Bye.
First TV experience. I'm so happy I did it with you.
Uplift, and empower you. Anytime, anywhere on EverTalk TV, your home for talk. Live from Los Angeles, welcome back to Good Morning La La Land. I am absolutely honored to welcome a true television and film icon to the show, Ed Begley Jr. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for having me. So nice of you.
Congratulations on your 7th Emmy nomination.
Can you believe it?
I can.
Always a bridesmaid, never a bride. But happy to be nominated. Very, very flattered.
And nominated for a show on Facebook, Control
That's
Alt
right.
Delete. The times have truly changed, haven't they?
Haven't they? Margaret Ketch and Roni Geva wrote the script and they produced it. It's a wonderful show about a women's health clinic. I play a doctor there, and it's very funny, very engaging, all based on real stories from clinics across America.
Oh, wow. And America loves your ABC hit series, Bless This Mess.
I love doing it. It's so much fun.
We have a clip. Let's take a look.
Fantastic.
Oh, let's get these talents sparkling.
Really giving that bird the business, huh?
You know, Priyanka's up for Best 10. If we get a blue ribbon, I'm gonna turn everything around.
There's a lot of pressure for one chicken.
Well, when we moved here, we really thought we were gonna be farming the land. We got our ass kicked with the soil and the weather, losing the tractor.
Well, your wife has done a hell of a job with that bird.
Right, Priyanka?
When she first came here, Rio was totally helpless. I was sure one day I was going to find her dead at the bottom of a well. Each morning I go over there and cry out, Rio! She was never down there. The wife, she's a strong woman.
She really is.
Enough jibber jabber. I need your honest opinion. You were Constance. Which pair of overalls would really get you going?
I think I'd go with the ones that were less stained.
Come on, don't jerk me around. I need this date to go perfectly.
Then I guess we're the ones that you're most comfortable in.
Oh my gosh, hilarious.
So much fun. Liz Merriweather is the showrunner and the writer. Lake Bell created it with her, and Liz Merriweather did a show called New Girl, if you ever saw that show. Wonderful show. She's very talented. And my girlfriend on the show is one Pam Grier, so I get to be in love with Pam Grier on screen as I have been my whole life off screen.
I know, it's not hard work at all, is it?
Exactly.
You're adorable. I mean, I love that you do crossword puzzles, and you're just like a very
Every day,
down-to-earth-
got to do it every day. It's so much fun.
I can't do. I've never been able to complete one in my entire life.
Start Monday. Monday is pretty easy. Start with the LA Times Monday. I do the New York and LA Times. So start with the LA Times, which is easier than the New York. Do that on Monday, and you'll probably get through all or most of it. Then you build. Then you do Tuesday and Wednesday, and
I
pretty
can't
soon.
even get through the kindergarten.
I know. Especially when you're put on the spot like that, it feels like a lot of pressure.
I've got to ask, though, who introduced you to the crossword puzzle?
Harry Dean Stanton, a wonderful actor, Harry Dean Stanton. He was in Alien. He was in a bunch of movies, Missouri Breaks. He was on, a million shows and what have you. But he was a dear friend, and he did it back in the 70s. And I said, why do you do that? This is back in 72. He said, it keeps my mind alert. And when he got to be 90-something, I realized it was working pretty well. You know, he worked right up to the end. He was a wonderful guy, and used to be, I would call him for clues in the crossword. Then it kind of flipped around the other way. He would be calling me for clues, which was a great, great honor.
That's hilarious. That's adorable. So, you've been obviously in the industry for a long time. You know so many people. What would you say is really your takeaway from Hollywood? What is...
I grew up in the San Fernando Valley. My dad was a working actor, and then I hoped to be a working actor. And we were never part of the Hollywood or Beverly Hills scene. Not much, maybe when I was a little older I was, but it was all about the work. I didn't get that at the time. My dad tried to instill that in me, but I had it all wrong. I would be not saying to him, but I would always think, I want to be an actor. and why can't you just get me on Wagon Train or Gunsmoke, one of those shows in the day?
Right,
I want
make it
a
happen.
series. Make it happen, Dad. Call up one of your big friends at the studio, not knowing that he, of course, didn't have the power to do that. I didn't know that as a child. And more importantly, I hadn't done the work. I hadn't trained. Imagine the son of a plumber saying, "Oh, you're a plumber. That looks easy. I'll go out ride in the truck today," and you kind of put the pipes together, right?
Oh.
You need to train. You need to know how to do the work. I started to train, and then I began to work after that.
Your father being an Academy Award-winning actor, what did you learn from him?
He never gave me a formal acting lesson, but it was a kind of on-the-sly acting lesson. I didn't even know what he was doing. I was helping him, of course, by helping him run lines. It was a favor he asked me to do, and I loved to do, but he was there in embedding little acting lessons. Why don't you, it'll help me a little bit if you read it this way. The kid's kind of angry in this scene, so read it a little angrier, and I would do that, or read it a little less angry. He had different notes for me when I would be reading the scene with him, and that was very helpful to me as an actor. My first acting lesson was with my dad, and what a treat.
Wow, that's great. It's like a Karate Kid moment. He tricked you.
He did. He wonderfully, happily tricked me.
Yeah. Was there anything that has surprised you, either about the entertainment business or the ways in which it's sort of evolved over the years?
There's some very good things about the way it's evolved. The equipment has gotten much smaller, more lightweight, more compact, and so nearly anybody can make a, the guy who did Tangerine, Sean, what's his last name? Sean Baker. He did that on an iPhone. He did this wonderful, watchable, award-winning movie on his iPhone. So you can, that's taking it to an extreme, of course, but the more normal equipment, if you will, is very small. The professional equipment we use on Bless This Mess and other movies and TV shows is quite small. And the amount of light is much less because of the kind of equipment. The film wasn't as sensitive back in the 50s, let's say, and 60s. You needed, it had an ASA, a rating of like 25 or something, so you had to have 400-foot candles of light to get an f4, to get the lens to the right setting. And so that would be 10 times the light we have right now.
Wow.
And not cool lights like this, sorry, but hot lights, hot lights.
Well, speaking of lights, on your Instagram you mentioned you were a solar-powered actor.
Oh, that's right. That's my little lame attempt at humor. I have a 9 kilowatts of solar, so it powers my house and charges my car. It got me here today. I got here really on solar power because I charge my car at home, and that's the solar house that's charging it.
Wow. Wow. When did you develop an interest in solar power?
I wanted it my whole young life. I had heard about solar panels in the early 60s and wanted them, but of course they were very expensive and hard to get back then. They were really just made for and used by the space program and a few others. There wasn't a lot of terrestrial use of solar panels. But then I started doing a lot of environmental stuff in 1970 because of the smog. The smog got me active as an environmentalist, and I did all the stuff I could afford. But I didn't get solar until 1985. I got solar hot water. Then 1990, I got solar electric, and I haven't looked back since 1990. I wanted it. I figured it was a good idea to make your power from the sun, and it was. That's the great thing about an electric car. You cannot make gasoline on the roof of your house. I happen to know this. But you can make electricity in the roof of your house, so you can power your car with the sun.
Wow, it's incredible.
Speaking of your house, rumor has it that Scott, the constructional chef, was a part of building your very green home.
He was the general contractor, did a wonderful job. We completed the house 2016. That's 3 years ago now. It's a wonderful house. Nothing ever goes wrong or breaks down. It's just wonderful. It's beautiful to look at. My wife wanted a French Mediterranean designed home by William Hefner, this wonderful architect. And the builder he worked with was Scott Harris. So they built this home that not only has everything that I need, the bones of it and everything embedded in the walls and up in the roof, all the green attributes, but it has what my wife wants, which is a French Mediterranean designed house. You wouldn't know it was solar. You can't see a solar panel from any part of the property. They both wanted that. I don't mind looking at solar, but they didn't want to see it. You get to the south end of the property and look up at the roof. You go, this Begley's a liar. He doesn't have one single panel up there. Get up in a ladder. Still, I can't see any. You get up a really high ladder. You get a drone to go over the house. You see, I have not one, but I have 40 solar panels, and I have 9 kilowatts.
Wow. Not to brag or anything, but I built a solar house once.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it was a miniature one. And to be honest with you, it was my friend's mom who really built it. So I guess it doesn't really count as much.
No, it totally counts. Anybody involved in building a good home like that gets credit.
Yeah, the drone wouldn't have been able to capture it, but the drone could have probably fit inside. Or maybe it could have fit inside the house, either way. I don't know.
You have great humor.
Yeah, you
by
really
the way.
do.
It's one of your greatest geniuses. Clearly, it's not when you're just reading lines. This is who you are. So
you're very kind.
Yeah, I'm sure it's really fun for your wife and for your whole family and everyone.
My wife, not so much. But my daughter seems to appreciate it. My kids appreciate it. I have 3 wonderful kids, and they all seem to appreciate my humor.
Were you like that as a kid?
I was a class clown. I got taken away from my desk once for clowning around too much and put in a playpen in the back corner of the room.
Oh.
You want to play around? We'll put you in a playpen.
Wow.
That's what the nuns did back in the 50s.
Therapy ever since.
Exactly.
Ed, I'm wondering, after so many iconic roles, is there any role you're still looking to play or project you're hoping to create?
Boy, you know, I've realized so many of my dreams. I've had so many great parts. If it just continues like this, to be honest, if it stopped tomorrow, and I hope it does not, but if it did, my glass is so full. I've been able to do so many things, and I'm still working. At my age, I'll be 70 in a few days, and I'm still working at that age. I never thought I'd work this long. That'll be 52 years I'll have worked in the entertainment industry as an actor.
That's incredible.
When's your birthday?
September 16th.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for all of your entertainment and things. You brought us so much joy.
Thank you so much for having me on.
Yeah.
We appreciate that. Is there anywhere everyone can find and follow you on that Instagram?
EdBegley.com is my website. Instagram, it's Ed_Begley_JR for Junior. That's hard to remember. Or Twitter, it's at Ed Begley Jr.
All right.
Be sure to tweet him for some crossword tips. And
Yes.
Stay tuned. We'll be back tomorrow. Good morning, La La Land.
That's how we do it. This is how we do it.
Where can you watch the stories of people changing the world? EverTalk TV, the Netflix of talk. I'm GMLA, the co-founder and host of EverTalk TV, and I am thrilled to introduce you to America's first live video streaming talk show network.
We all crave connection.
I'm a big fan of videoing a podcast.
The impact that I'm having people on a podcast is I'm having more impact on those people than I ever did in news.
We want to be heard, but we also need to listen.
Podcasts, I understand they are red hot.
It's actually remarkable how scary to me podcasting is. Everybody should have a podcast.
I really wondered why. I mean, we've been doing this for 12 years. Nobody has done this in other arenas.
We have to change the conversation to happiness over financial success. It was like, we have to. We have to.
Honestly, it was meeting new people who had already heard about what we have done and thanking me for the contribution we're making to their lives.
Oh,
And I thought,
nice. That's
this
great.
is what my purpose is. This is why I was born.
Yeah.
I think this is my first time my book's been up on TV. This is awesome.
You can binge watch and binge watch.
You can binge watch.
And you can binge watch, or you can binge watch. Please binge watch.
You can binge watch and binge them on EverTalk TV. Thanks for coming. Bye.
Entertainment that will inspire, uplift, and empower you. Anytime, anywhere on EverTalk TV, your home for talk.
Live from Los Angeles, welcome back to Good Morning La La. This woman inspires me, I can't lie. I mean, we're on Wealth Wednesday, and our greatest wealth is our creative factor, all the above. Dan Allen, you are a filmmaker, creative artist, you do jewelry, you're helping cure addiction. What don't you do? I mean, seriously, look at you, you're fabulous.
I don't know, I'm a mom too.
Oh, yeah?
And funny thing is, I just got back from Burning Man.
Oh, yes.
I know.
Good for you.
So I have
absolutely.
many parts to myself, and what was amazing though was coming back from Burning Man, and then yesterday, closing my store that I've had for 38 years in Santa Monica.
Oh,
so I'm
wow.
transitioning literally from being a jeweler full-time to putting all of my efforts into the arts and art collecting and supporting young artists that are right before they're emerging artists, so unknown artists. And and traveling and having fun.
Right, and you're a burner now, so
yeah, and I'm a burner. I know, I really killed it. Everybody says I did. I had a great time.
You are a true Renaissance woman. I'm wondering, what was your journey to becoming?
Oh, wow. Well, it's funny. Like Ed, I was born in the San Fernando Valley to parents who were very creative, and my grandfather, as a matter of fact, made 60 silent films in Los Angeles at Gower Studios, all silent, so very few people know of him. But I have that history of being creative. So from that point, I literally started listening to dreams about why I lived in a clamshell under the sea, and this idea of treasure hunting and being a jeweler and loving beautiful things was just profoundly part of my life. So I seem to have manifested that overused word into a lot of things.
But you truly are a treasure hunter. I saw a video that you discovered a real Picasso.
Yes, okay, I know, I love that, yeah. So on my, I collected art from early on, but on my honeymoon in the south of France, I walked into a teeny little shop, and I was looking through the racks, and I found a beautiful little painting that I loved, and an art dealer came over right behind me and said, "Young lady, if you don't buy that right now," there's 2 of them, they're by Picasso, made for a restaurant menu cover as a friend, for a friend of his, and I bought one. And it was $500, and at the time it was a lot of money. And it's a print, but it's still amazing, and it is a typical great story.
Oh, wow, that's fantastic.
That is fascinating.
So now what? So now you close the shop.
Yeah, closing the shop, but I'm not going to completely give up on jewelry as a career because I have so many people that know me for custom and one of a kind. So I'm going to remain in the business in some way, but I'm also going to bring my daughter into my business because she's amazing. She's a goth, a Victorian Gothic girl who has created a line of jewelry using human teeth and animal bones.
Wow.
And
Wow.
she is Purgatory Plaything, and you have to know her and look her up. She's pretty amazing. It's just a different manifestation of what I do. And so, and then maybe I use my business as a pop-up store. So the story is I own the property where I am, and so I don't want to just close it. I want to, but I'm morphing. Yeah, evolve.
You know what's so fascinating about you, among many things, is that you're multi-passionate, you're multi-talented. Has it been difficult making decisions like moving in a different direction in terms of your business or career over the course of your life, or is it something that just intuitively you've always felt and you're very clear about?
It takes a little time, but not long. I'm pretty intuitive. I think of myself of walking away from something I love, and how does that feel? Or closing the door or opening another one. And so
you sort of play it out and you feel it.
I do, and I feel it. And I'm also doing about 4 things at the same time right now.
Yeah,
and so I'm figuring out which one is really leading me.
Talk to us about curing addiction.
So this is an interesting story. Before my husband passed away, we befriended a handyman that came to our home with left a note on the gate saying, I clean fountains. And my husband thought, that's so interesting. People in my neighborhood have fountains. So we called him, we brought him in, and he was this lovely man that my husband befriended, and he had lost both his parents from an overdose of heroin, and had this idea to open up some harm reduction care centers. Basically, they used to be called methadone centers. And we did it 6 years ago after my husband died. In his honor, I funded. Wow. So I now own 7 of them. We see 1,000 patients a day. And we basically have a really high level of care in terms of how they're helped through their daily existence, and keeping people alive is the #1 goal. So one is open in LA on Chatsworth, and the other are all in Denver.
Wow.
Yeah, so again, it's just kind of the miraculousness of the timing and the desire to do it.
So you're a big entrepreneur.
That's really what it is. I've always been an entrepreneur.
But you've got great, this deep sort of kind of creative spirit, but also this entrepreneurial spirit, which you often don't see in the same person. You often see most people over-index for one or the other. You seem to have this beautiful harmony and sort of sync.
That's so sweet. I just do what comes along that grabs my attention and feels good. Yeah. And I love the arts, and I love, I love my life. I'm in a really good place right now. It's pretty exciting.
I love your earrings.
Thank you.
Yeah, I have to say.
I know. They're blue geodes, like little small geodes cut in half. So
I was looking at your ring. We have very similar
little
Wonder
we're
Woman
almost matching.
twins
Look
here.
at that.
Yes.
This is something I bought in Greece. I think I was 17 or 18 from La Launis, which is one of the oldest Greek jewelers, and I just felt so excited that I could
still
walk
have it?
in, and I still have it.
Amazing.
I wear it a
brand
lot.
new.
I know, I wear it a lot.
Amazing.
Incredible. I don't have friends from that.
Yeah.
I don't think I have any friends left from 17.
I think it's so interesting too that you mentioned you're a treasure hunter.
Yes, yeah. I think the jewelry for me is part of that. It's part of having seen beautiful things on my grandmother's wrist and wanting and loving it. And I started to go to London when I was very, very young, like 19, 20, staying at the Holiday Inn on just a bare minimum, and going to the antique markets at 6 in the morning to find antique carved things that I could turn into jewelry. So specifically, there were mother of pearl carvings that were used for games like bridge and quadrille and whist and all that. I didn't know much about them. I could go on forever about it, but it's boring. Except for they're beautiful, and I framed them in gold. And part of my business in the beginning of being a jeweler was those items. So that literally was treasure hunting.
And you're
right?
literally treasure hunting for artists.
Yes, and now I'm treasure hunting. Exactly. Thank you. That's exactly where it came from. Is buying art all of my life and doing the Venice Art Walk and things back in the 70s and meeting all the artists in Venice that are also huge now, has really flavored that next part of my life, which I think really is about promoting new artists.
And how can we as a culture continue to support new emerging artists?
Well, like I said, and like I've said in the past, and I still say, I think if you find art you love, it doesn't matter who it is, and if you're helping them pay the rent, literally, there's so many artists that I love, and that's such a huge thing. And again, I think they have to have something, that I want to support and grow, but usually it starts with just seeing something in somebody and their passion and wanting to be helpful.
You certainly have an eye for that je ne sais quoi.
There you go. And by the way, the reason that I think I started with the jewelry hunting, I just remembered, was a dream I had that I lived in a shell under the ocean. And every day when the shell opened up, I went out and treasure hunted. And it was like a reoccurring childhood dream. Wow. And so it sounds funny, but I think you listen to those kinds of things.
Beautiful.
At least I do.
Sounds like it'd be a good film.
There you go. It's a cute one. Yeah.
Thank you, Diane, for sharing your story.
You're so welcome.
We're
Thank
so
you for having me.
excited to continue to watch you and your daughter flourish.
There you go.
right
Thank
here
you.
in Santa Monica. Please tell everyone where they can find and follow you.
Absolutely. They can find and follow me at Diane Allen 23 or Diane Allen Presents. And my daughter, if I could plug her, is Purgatory Playthings on Etsy and also on Instagram.
Love it. Thank
you
so much.
Thank you so much.
Lauren, Good Morning La La Land. I'm GMLA, host of Good Morning La La Land on EverTalk TV. As a little girl with big dreams, I couldn't stop talking. I turned that into a career of premieres at red carpets and even a talk show. And recently, I had my aha moment. I was hosting a live event. A woman who represented a national cancer support community gently pulled me aside from the glitz and the glam, and she thanked me for mentioning their program on my show. Because of those few words that I had spoke on air earlier that week, one of our viewers battling cancer reached out and got the financial and emotional support she so desperately needed. I'm so grateful to have experienced that moment, a moment that truly reflects how much conversation and community matters. We need more of what matters. It is my passion and purpose to create content and lead a conversation that will ignite the light in my community and empower them to live their best lives, starting today. I'm GMLA, and I'm a host on EverTalk TV. Live from Los Angeles, welcome back to Good Morning La La Land. I am so excited to welcome Katie Sackhoff to the show. Congratulations on your new Netflix series, Another Life.
Thank you so much. We're really excited about it. It's doing really well.
So you are back, sci-fi interstellar mission.
Yeah.
I can't say I'm surprised. Tell us about the show.
So the show is about an alien artifact that lands on Earth, and my character plays a retired astronaut who is in the military, and they pull her out of retirement to lead a young group of astronauts into space to determine if it's friendly or if it's a threat. So, and we realize very quickly that things are not going to be easy.
Well, let's take a look at the trailer for Another Life.
We interrupt this broadcast for an emergency alert. The Department of Defense is confirming reports of an unknown object entering Earth's atmosphere.
An alien artifact landed on Earth. We need to know why, and they want me to lead the mission.
Our first contact with an alien civilization
is a risk. People will die.
We are all here for the same reason, to protect the lives of the people back on Earth. I have to save the crew, save Earth.
What if by doing this, we launch into an interstellar war?
everyone loves a woman with a mission.
Just your average Wednesday.
Yeah. When I look at the trailer, I can't help but look at your arms. Like, what are you doing? We want to know all about your arms and your workout.
So funny.
Come on.
Oh my gosh, I get asked about my arms so much. My workout was very strict for this. I wanted her, my character comes out of cryosleep in the very beginning, and I wanted her to look as if she was, her satiation was minimum, what they needed to stay alive. I said that, I made a joke the other day, you're not getting McDonald's in cryosleep, you're getting what your body needs, and I wanted her to look very lean and sinewy. And so it was a lot of working out and restrictive calories, but on a normal like basis, I just lift very light and I just did a Spartan race though, so that's probably why they're a lot more muscular now than they were on the show.
Yeah.
So,
very light,
yeah.
no work at all in any of this.
I was an athlete when I was younger, so I just naturally, lean towards characters that are more physically active, and I really enjoy it in my personal life. So.
Well, and fans might recognize you most obviously as Starbuck from Battlestar Galactica. Yeah. So what attracts you to these powerful roles, women on a mission?
Yeah, when I was a kid, there weren't a ton of strong women on television. So I grew up wanting to be Bruce Willis because that's what I had. We had Linda Hamilton, we had Sigourney Weaver, we had Lucy Lawless, but we didn't have an overabundance of these strong women. And so I always leaned towards those characters. My dad and I grew up watching sci-fi together. He gave me my love of it. And so it's sort of paying homage to him and doing things that he wants to see, but also giving young girls and women sort of characters that are role models that I didn't have growing up.
So I've got to be honest with you. When I made the drive from Michigan to Los Angeles, we had one box set of DVDs, and it was Battlestar Galactica. I kid you not. So from Michigan through Utah, Nebraska, and Wyoming, I watched Starbuck, and your character and you are so empowering. Literally, you got me through Michigan to LA. This is such a true story. My boyfriend got me into it at the time. He's like, Battlestar Galactica. I thought, oh my gosh, no.
Yeah.
Loved it.
It was an amazing series, and it's so relevant even now. The subject matter is so timely. It's an important show. Another Life is not that. I think that the Battlestar Galactica fans were slightly disappointed because they thought that this was going to be very Battlestar, like metaphor for the human condition, which it's not. This is very 90s sci-fi. This is fun to watch. It's very quick pace. It doesn't take itself too seriously, so it's a lot more popcorn, for lack of a better word, but it's so much fun to watch, which is great. I couldn't go back and do another Battlestar Galactica because it was so good that I had to sort of try something different.
Wow.
Yeah.
When did you commit to being an actor? Acting as a career. Do you remember?
So I had gotten hurt. I was a swimmer, and I thought that was my trajectory. I was going to go swim in college, maybe make the Olympics if I worked really hard, but that was where I was going. And when I got hurt, I didn't know what I wanted to do, and I was so slightly depressed because I was sitting at home with sort of lack of direction, and my mom found this ad in the paper to be Kirsten Dunst's body double in a movie that was filming in Portland. I didn't get that, but they asked me if I wanted to audition for a role, and I got it. It got me into the union, which I didn't realize how lucky I was at the time. And that director introduced me to my manager and my agent. He saw something in me and convinced my mother to let me move here when I was 17. So I was in the right place at the right time, and I always wanted to be an actor, I think, but I grew up in a really small town. Like, it wasn't something that seemed attainable.
Yeah. Did you ever revisit that decision after you made it? Was there ever a lull where you just felt, I don't know if I'm going to keep doing this?
Yeah, absolutely. That's happened a couple times in my career, but I think what that forced me to do was realize that the business and this is not who I am. It is my job, and I needed to find things that gave me self-worth outside of the business to sort of like sustain me through those droughts.
Wow, that's perfect.
Yeah, so I think that it's, we all associate and sort of define ourselves by what we do, and it's not who we are, it's just what we do,
It's a chronic illness in Los Angeles.
It really is
what we do.
Yeah, it really is, and the fear is that we could spend our entire lives trying to attain our sense of worth by what we do instead of actually who we want to be and the things that are around us.
So what is your mission? Who do you want to be?
I worked really hard to like the person that I am. It was a road to get here, and I think now that I've sort of done this career now for 25 years, I'm really trying to give back and sort of inspire people on a daily basis, which is why I started my YouTube channel, just sort of like use myself as a guinea pig to really motivate and show people that there is some joy and excitement to life while still doing the things that we do.
Right.
Incredible. Wow, 25 years. That makes
I'm
you 26,
inspired.
27?
Yeah.
Amazing. I mean, that's amazing.
Oil of Olay.
I'm inspired, especially by your arms. So.
Oh my gosh.
For sure.
Thank you
So tell
much.
people where they can find your personal journey and your new YouTube. Is it new?
Yeah.
How long have you been doing YouTube?
So we're on episode 5. Wow. We just dropped yesterday's episode, which is where one of the Longmire actors and myself went out to we drank for science. But the whole point of my thing is that if people want to learn, you have to give them a palatable focus and then hit them with the lesson on the backside, because then they'll pay attention. So what we're trying to do is make these episodes that are fun and engaging with a life lesson, which is the long-term effects of alcohol and the things that alcohol can do to your life. So
I love it.
Yeah.
Where sugar helps the medicine go down.
yeah, exactly. So that's Katie Sackhoff TV over on YouTube, and then I think the real Katie Sackhoff on Instagram. Go watch Another Life on Netflix. It's there right now.
Awesome. Thank you so
Stay
much.
tuned. We'll be right
Thank
back
you
with
so
more
much.
Morning La La Land. It is hashtag National Sour Candy Day. We want to thank our special friends from Pucker Powder for treating us today.
Hey, I mean, what is this?
What is that?
I don't know. It's like a.
Leave it to the DIY
It's
experts.
a sugar hookah. This looks like what I would fill up my car with, the tires. You know, the air thing.
For those of you watching who haven't met Tanya Mimi, she is an Emmy-nominated host.
Oh my God, you're so.
Selma's House, the Homer Colton family. She's a DIY expert, and she's always up for a challenge. So why not give her this sour? Here we go, Tanya.
Oh, come on. Shut up.
Woo! Oh my gosh! Oh my
Wow. Hold on. God.
gosh! She's up for it.
Live from Los Angeles, welcome back to Good Morning La La. And on Wealth Wednesday, it's all about you deserve it, right? So Dr. Josh Wagner's in the house, author, mentor, coach, speaker, all the above. You deserve it. You have the answer. What is the answer to getting what we deserve?
Well, let's start. So for years, I've coached doctors. I've mentored people of all walks of life all over the world. And I've come to discover the single greatest reason why people stay stuck and don't get what they really want in life. And Rob, Dr. Aaron, I know you're gonna love this because of your expertise and your background. So let's start. It's 9:30 a.m. How many social media platforms, on average, do you think a typical person has already logged into today? The answer is 5. We all know the benefits of social media, but we also know the dark side. Fear of missing out. I'm not good enough. Their life is better than mine. What that is leading to is the highest levels of anxiety, depression, and even suicide in history, not just in adults, but in children. What I share in this book and what I'm going to share with you today is going to make a difference for that. So I'm going to ask you one question. It's personal, so I want you to keep the answer in your mind. But think of an area that's really important in your life, you really care about, and you want to see change, like your big goal. It could be finances, health, relationships, happiness, peace of mind. And for the viewers at home, think of your area too. And think of that end result you really want. And I'm going to ask a very simple question with a yes or no answer, but keep it to yourself. Do you truly believe you deserve having that in your life? And for the viewers, do you truly believe you deserve having that in your life? The deserving belief is the answer. Without it, we self-sabotage, we procrastinate, we stay stuck, we burn out. With it, we have the energy, inspiration, ideas, take the right steps, we meet the right people, and life's serendipities and synchronicities align to put us on our path. That's what I share in the book with a process, like you asked earlier about the meditation, a process to flip your switch from undeserving to deserving.
I think there's an important part, though, in flipping the switch, because while I believe I truly deserve happiness and success in that area of my life, I may have never experienced that. I can't visualize it, I can't feel it because I don't know it. It wasn't the conversation I was born into. So what are the steps we can take after we believe we deserve it to really feel it, to embody it, to manifest it for ourselves?
Great question. So most people who've achieved what they want, they didn't grow up with the silver spoon. They didn't grow up with their parents having that level of wealth or happiness. So it's actually not what do we do after we believe we deserve it. Those steps actually come naturally. It's cultivating the deserving belief. So all the visualization, the goal setting, the affirmations, the vision boards, those are all great and they have their place. But if you don't have a deserving belief first, none of that's going to take shape. So really it's cultivating first the deserving
So you're
belief.
saying it's almost like an entitlement, like, for example, when you said that, I mean, I'm so transparent. It was about love for me. I'm like, I absolutely deserve to have an amazing, extraordinary relationship. Hell yes, I believe that, and yes, I deserve that. But then it's like Jess says, right? I did not come from a family that was married. I've never witnessed very many good marriages or relationships, quite frankly. So how do we actually like move past that? And you know, we teach all kinds of things, but what is different about what you teach versus what so many people teach about subconscious work or manifesting?
Great. So the best analogy I give is it's like if you just do what you want, the goal setting, affirmations, visualization, manifestation techniques, it all has its place. But it's trying to build a mansion on top of a swamp. You could have the best architect's resources, all the money in the world to put into it, but if it's on a faulty framework of undeserving beliefs, it's going to sink. So what I've created is the deserving process. It's a very simple, do at home, doesn't cost $1 to flip your switch from undeserving to deserving.
I love that. So I love this. Of course, I certainly believe that everyone wants to and should believe they deserve what they want, right? And I know there's the other side of the coin. I work with a lot of folks and a lot of executives, and part of the challenge they experience is they say, well, people nowadays are more entitled than ever, and they believe they deserve things that they haven't spent any time working at or practicing or deserving, you know, and they haven't earned it yet, and yet they think they believe it. So what do we say to those people that are struggling with either themselves or other people who say, man, I really feel entitled to it, or this person feels entitled to it, but either they're not experiencing it or it's off-putting to some people?
Oh, absolutely. And we all know if it's entitlement, that's superficial. That's not a real core, true deserving belief. And that's why the people you're referencing probably aren't getting, they're stuck, they're struggling, they're in burnout, because it's not a true deserving belief. It's, I should have it. My parents had this. I'm entitled to it.
So what was your journey writing the book and to becoming the expert in this space?
Coaching doctors all over the world for years, and not just doctors, but people of all walks of life. I just got back from Australia and Barcelona on seminars I gave, and next ones are in the States.
But what made you decide you wanted to be a coach? I mean, what was your journey to that? What flipped your switch?
Well, there are many realms, whether it's financial relationships, but even in practice. I didn't believe initially I deserved success in practice based on how I was actually taught to practice. Once I made those switches and what I was thinking and what I was saying with patients, that flipped the switch for me, and that's actually what I share with most doctors, how to create the exceptional new patient experience.
Oh, that's fantastic. I just love that. So what's next for you?
What's next for me is sharing this book. So this book comes out in about 2 weeks.
Okay.
It'll be Barnes & Noble, Amazon. Pre-release is available at my website, drjoshwagner.com, as well as a gift for viewers is a Deserving Process audio for free that they can use to guide themselves through this process towards any area of their life, financials, health, relationships, happiness, peace of mind. That's what's most important to me, is people realizing that no one's born with an undeserving belief. You're born as a blank slate, and our parents, our society, our influencers shape us, but we could change that.
They shove that software program in there, don't they?
I mean, it doesn't matter your background, your ethnicity, your gender, your sexual orientation. No one is undeserving of anything that life has to offer. But we don't all believe that.
Sure.
So
again, you're saying that the foundation is belief, which we completely concur.
Believe you deserve.
Yeah, we completely, I mean, 1,000% believe that. And there's many ways of doing that, through trauma, through subconscious, through whatever. And you're saying that through audio is what you...
Oh, the audio is just one way. I teach the deserving process in the book. Sometimes it's easier for someone to hear me walk them through it rather than remember. It's a three-step process.
You got to get the book to get the foundation of how he works through.
Well, you can listen to the audio and still get it, so you don't have to buy the book. But it's a 20-minute, for the most part, meditative process, deserving process.
Wonderful. Remember, you deserve it. And stay tuned. We'll be right back with more of Good Morning La La Land. Where can you watch the stories of people changing the world? EverTalk TV, the Netflix of talk. I'm GMLA, the co-founder and host of EverTalk TV, and I am thrilled to introduce you to America's first live video streaming talk show network.
You can binge watch and binge watch.
You can binge watch.
And you can binge watch, or you can binge watch. Please binge watch.
You can binge watch and binge them on EverTalk TV. Thanks for coming. Bye.
Entertainment that will inspire, uplift, and empower you. Anytime, anywhere on EverTalk TV, your home for talk.
Happy Wednesday. Welcome back to Good Morning La La Land here on Wealth and Wisdom Wednesday. Extraordinary series of conversations. I really kind of obsessed with this idea like around goal setting because I think it's been a challenge, at least for me in most of my life. Also an incredible opportunity. And I wonder for each of you fantastic people, what's the one tip you would recommend to other people who maybe either want to set goals or they want to achieve their goals? What's been most helpful for you in goal achievement? Who's in the hot seat?
So to start, I would say focus more on the journey,
Yeah.
really being happy and fulfilled and excited on your way rather than the end result, because I'm sure everyone on this couch, we're successful, we've accomplished a lot of goals, and you realize often within 48 hours after accomplishment,
So true.
you feel the same way as when you started that journey.
Yeah.
And worse, it's a bigger goal, and you've got to maintain everything you've kept to get there. So accomplishment, a lot of people don't realize, actually feels worse than not winning. So what I leave is, you don't get the life you deserve, you get the life you believe you deserve.
Yeah. I think for me it's just following dreams and manifesting what makes me happy. And it's always worked, and it's kind of a natural state for me. I don't know why. If I could teach it, I would. But I think you get it, clearly.
For myself, I actually don't believe that failure is an option. I don't believe it exists. Everything that we do produces a result. It may just not be the result that we wanted. So I think that for goals, there are big goals and there are little goals, but I don't focus too much on the actual outcome because the road goes like this and you never really know where you're going to end up. So I just constantly say, failure doesn't exist. It just didn't happen the way that you wanted, or you didn't get what you thought you wanted, but you always get what you want and what you need.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I remember reading a quote somewhere. It was like, I'm always successful at what I do. Sometimes I'm successful at napping, and sometimes I'm successful at laying down and sitting down. But it's a great point, and I think it's a great, even a great mantra. Fantastic.
As long as you try your best is good enough.
That's
right?
right, Jazz.
Absolutely.
Amen. We are Good Morning La La Land, America's first live streaming daily talk show, coming to you live Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. All of today's interviews are available as a podcast on iTunes, and the whole show is streaming on EverTalk TV on Apple TV and Roku.
That's right. We're waking up the world together. You guys have a beautiful Wealth Wednesday. Make it happen.
It's going to be a good morning, La La Land.